What's hell to one person, get out of here, bee, could be heavenly to another person. I was thinking hell. I'm convinced I'm in hell. I must have died and gone to hell. Because the worst thing that could have ever happened to me is having my daughters taken from me, or my children in general. And never in a million years did I ever think that was going to happen. Now, not only has it happened, they don't even want to be with me. So it's even worse than I imagined. So the worst possible thing I could ever have happened to me in my life is to have my children taken away from me. Well, not only were they taken away from me, but here it was by choice. So this place is like the worst hell that there could be for me personally. You know, yeah, I don't have to work, and I get disability, and I have a house that's paid for, and I don't have a vehicle payment. So I can see how my life circumstances might be heavenly to somebody else. But I'm telling you, I couldn't have imagined a worse life for myself than the one I got. Sure, I could be being tortured to death and all sorts of other things where people go, oh, it could be worse, it could be worse. Yeah, fuck that shit. For me, this life I'm living is a living hell. Nothing worse could possibly happen to me, except for losing my son out of his own choice, but that's not ever going to fucking happen because he's not brainwashable and he's not a teenager. My whole childhood, raised by a psychopathic, psychologically cruel, twisted, sick, abusive stepmother. Had zero support from my father on the whole situation. When Tina and I confronted him, he's like, he denied it. And then I get his girlfriend telling me at breakfast one morning, oh, I heard your dad told me she was just terrible to you when you were growing up. I was so fucking pissed off. I'm like, oh, he admits it to you, huh? Because when I was a kid, he denied it and said I was a liar. Said I'll believe my wife over my children any day. So I had to live that hell with nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Twisted, sick bitch. For anyone who didn't know from Burlington to Lags, Twyla is not my mother. She is my stepmother. She claimed us as her own. We are not hers. She's dead now, so fuck her. I forgave her, you know, towards the end there, but after she died and I relived some things, I guess I don't forgive her. She was good with my kids, which is shocking. I wanted to do a shout out to Freddie Mercury. Mama, I didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, carry on. Never met my mother's side of the family. None of my relatives from my mother's side of my family. I think I met Millie once, my aunt, one of my aunts. My grandma Ruth, she's dead now. I never even got to meet her. My Aunt Joanne, she's dead. I never got to meet her. I've got like 3 other aunts. I have this huge family on the Massey side I've never met because my dad's a piece of shit. I guess he decided to punish everyone involved, including us and the entire Massey family, because he thinks my mom cheated on him, which I doubt she did, just knowing how life is and what a prick he is. So even if she did, is that what you do? You punish your children too, and you keep them from an entire side of their family? You're a pile of shit, Dad. Your fucking absence in my life lately has been pretty glaringly obvious too, by the way. As soon as Twyla died, you were out of there as far as being a father. You were barely there to begin with. I don't know why Sharon's with you. She seems like a nice person. You must have fooled her or something. So I decided one of the times I OD'd, I must have really died, and then I was put in hell. It's like you don't really die and you just continue to live your life, only it's way, way worse than it was before. I wonder how many times I have to die before I get to go to heaven. Think they'll ever let me in there? All my friends are heathens, take it slow. I wouldn't want to go there anyway. I hear pieces of shit are there like Twyla. Fuck that. I'll take my chances with Satan and the Hellions. But not this fucking piece of shit hell. The other hell. The one I made like heaven, but better. I improved hell's condition so that they have more fun in hell than they do in heaven. And people in heaven started to ask if they could go to hell. Apparently not. I don't care. They could implement my changes in heaven if they wanted to, but they're too arrogant. The people who run heaven. I don't fucking give a shit anymore. If that's not where I'm going, they can kiss off. Go to the heavenly hell I created. The hellish heaven. They won't let me there either because they don't want me to reap the rewards of my own work. They can't keep me here forever. Because this place won't be here forever. You can't keep me somewhere if it doesn't exist anymore. So. Whew. Well, I tell you though, my grocery bill, since the girls haven't been here, whoo, man. I have so much food still from the last time I went grocery shopping 3 weeks ago. There's no one here to eat it. So I'm going to spend way less money on groceries. I don't have to ever cook again because Noah doesn't eat meals like other people do because he's picky. I don't cook for myself, so I don't have to cook anymore. Anna accused me of never cooking anyway, so, well, I guess I never cooked before. I guess I can continue to not cook. For someone who never cooked, I sure feel like I cooked a lot more than I have to now. I don't have any judgmental brats in my house looking down on me for anything, because Noah doesn't care what I do. He loves me no matter what. So I don't have anyone judging me. I don't have anyone I have to cook for. I don't have so many groceries I have to keep stockpiled in my house. So I'm trying to look on the bright side of things. And now that they're in their worst phase, which is 16, 15-year-olds, teenagers, you know, they want to run the world, they think they can make all these adult decisions. Good. I don't want to raise them in this phase of their life anyway. So good luck, Dad. Mr. fucking once a month, if that, for a weekend. Now all of a sudden you're going to come to the rescue. You are a terrible person for encouraging that kind of behavior. What are you, a fucking 12-year-old too, Scott? Because you're sure acting like it. You're supposed to be the voice of reason. You're supposed to be explaining to these children how I have a mental illness and that it's not my fault and that they should be supportive and they should be kind. But you're encouraging them to block me and ignore me and hide from me and not tell me where they are, not tell me when I'll see them. And fuck you. You and your arrogant goddamn attitude coming at me like this was not my decision. Yeah, you're right. You left it up to a 16-year-old and a 15-year-old. Good choice, Scott. Way to let them take control. You're supposed to be the parent. You're letting them make the decisions. You're such a cocksucker. And tell me again how the police came to your house because of my videos. That was a real stupid little spin you tried to put on that when you sent that text to Pete. What the fuck do my videos have to do with me calling for them to do a welfare check on you? Were you trying to fool me into thinking I'm not the reason the cops were at your fucking house? I've been calling them for 3 fucking days because you kept ignoring the door, or you weren't in fucking mine out like you lied and said you were. I'm so glad your fucking car broke down. I hope it was hot and miserable as shit, and I hope it took him 3 hours to get there. You deserve that shit. Telling me you're fucking in mine out with the kids. He lied and told me the same shit. Oh, but then he's giving you a fucking ride because your fucking car broke down the other day? You fucking pile of shit, Scott. I can't even believe you've turned out to be such a pile of shit. Never would I've ever said Scott Beyer is a pile of shit, because you never were. You've never been. But boy, you sure are turning out to be. Way to prove me wrong. I didn't ever think you'd have this shit in you, but boy, you sure do. I guess I bring out the worst in people. Now, if only Pete would get his fucking ass over here and clean his fucking shit out of my house, it wasn't such a goddamn disaster zone in there. Pete with his goddamn clothes everywhere, his garbage everywhere, his dishes everywhere. I couldn't believe the mess he left at my house in one fucking day when I was in treatment. He was only at my house for 1 day, and he trashed the whole fucking living room upstairs, the kitchen, the dining room. I don't even know how it was possible. It's like he had to go out of his way and like just throw stuff willy-nilly. Oh yeah, Scott retaliated against me with a call to the police for a welfare check on Noah. I'm sorry, are you even Noah's father? What are you doing calling the police for a welfare check on my son who's not your son? Well, whatever, they didn't even see Noah. I told them he was sleeping and they left. So, good welfare check. They didn't even ask to see him. And child services, yeah, they came too, but I wouldn't talk to them. So they left, and then I talked to the 2 detectives that were here. So child services can kiss my ass. I don't have to talk to those people. And I only talked to the detectives because they wouldn't leave. I don't know why they sent detectives instead of regular police, but thank God. Of course, the police would have just left. That's what they do. They just leave when you won't answer your door. But you know that, don't you, Scott? That they'll just leave if you don't answer your door. It's all in an uproar over my videos, because that video I made for Colin Hoffman, that I wanted him to like be my boyfriend or whatever. Well, that's just a stupid fantasy anyway. God forbid I wish to have a better life. You know, how dare I, Pete? How dare I wish for a better life than the life that I have with you, you abusive prick. So much for Noah being afraid of me, huh? Guess we know who he's afraid of now. He's afraid of you and the police. Smartest child I ever had. Noah.